Hello, and thank you for joining us for a special edition of Muay TV. This is the Rising Stars 13 pregame show. I'm Ezra Regan, my co-host Sal Apollonio, and once again, special guest and a regular face here on Muay TV, Rising Stars promoter, Coach Lino Enriquez. Gentlemen, it's good to be back again.
Hello.
It's been a little while. I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
It's been a crazy week, Coach. You know, we're doing a quick turnaround. Me and Sal doing Knock Muay Challenge last night.
Muay Thai week.
Yeah, and then we sat and you know, when you're doing the broadcast, it's like a 6 hour, you know. So we're all warmed up and ready for the second half of the doubleheader rolling into your show.
Yeah, what a way to end the year, man. 2 great cards. You know, that all-out card was really good. I tuned in. I was supposed to pull up and watch, but with family stuff and then trying to get my event ready, I couldn't make it. But I seen it was a great card. They had the live broadcast. I heard you guys. It was great.
Yeah, really competitive fights, and the whole NorCal community showing up. I think it was a sellout, and people stayed throughout the show. The main event, supposed to be the co-main event, but the main event didn't disappoint. Knockout there for Bertios against Saravia in a classic matchup, two of the prominent gyms. And, yeah, I think the crowd went home happy.
Yeah, Bertios looked great in there. I mean, so did Luis. You know, I am a fan of Luis. I did think Bertios kind of had a bit more of a challenge in his career, especially fighting Bolaños twice. I didn't say I expected it to go that way, but it was a great fight. Bertios definitely showed his class.
Luis going out on a shield, too.
Oh, he's a killer, too. You see him, he was swinging the whole time. And he probably could have continued, but was it 3 knockdowns?
You know what? It looked like to me he broke his nose.
Oh, is that what it was?
And he got dropped 3 times, but he was bleeding, and the nose just would not stop. And you could obviously his eyes were watering, bad vision, and then Bertios was coming at him full power there. So he did a good job of continuing to fight. He showed a lot of heart, but it was going to be real tough. I was surprised. Like, Doc's always right on it, and the amount of blood, and just the look on his face. But I think, you know, when it's a title fight, I like that. You know, Rinaldi and the doctor gave him a chance to get back in it, and he did. He was fighting with the broken nose, and even landed some defensive elbows. Bertios was coming for the kill on the ropes, and, you know, Josh was calling for the elbow. It just wasn't going to be.
You know, a fight like that, even in a loss, again, being a big test for Luis, this is going to make him better. I know he'll bounce back. Definitely, Kitty's fought on Rising Stars before. We've kept our eyes on him, so I know it'll make him better. Anytime you get to one of those adversity type of matchups, it'll definitely make him bounce back.
Yeah, unfortunately, both of my fighters that were scheduled didn't fight. Weight issues. And my teenage fighter, Julian, we knew coming in, and actually were able to find a replacement. So his opponent still got the fight and didn't waste his camp. A good competitive fight. Vang from 8 Limbs stepped up, actually walked away with the decision.
He fought Z on our show.
He
right?
did.
Okay, the smaller guy.
Yeah, in that 120-pound weight class. So.
And he's probably going up to make that. You know.
He was like already on weight. You know, but you know how they are. 8 Limbs, shout out for you guys for taking that fight. And again, he showed up on weight and ready and had a tough fight. A young man from Combat Fitness came at him the whole time, and he was using this slick defensive head movement with spinning back elbow. He landed about 4 spinning back elbows. Yeah. My teenager Julian just way overweight, outside of the safe window. But the real surprising one was Tyler, who we know on your card. We were supposed to have a huge fight with Keelan, and that didn't happen. So the whole community was very excited to see Tyler. Okay, he's matched up again. Is a ranked champion in Ramos, and then a pound and a half over on the scales. And the scales were closed. You know, he had an hour when he showed up. But a pound and a half, how are you going to get a pound and a half off in an hour and make the weight? And the Reed's gym, they weren't obligated to take the fight. I mean, they could have, and they could have fought for the non-title 5-rounder. But that breaks the agreement. I completely understand why they wouldn't take that fight.
Yeah, you know, I don't blame them. Especially, you know, Tyler's undefeated. He's an older guy, and he has the weight advantage. Like, you can't have all the advantages. You know, I definitely see it. I heard about it, and I heard about it late after when we talked about it a little bit, and it sucks. You know, I think I told you the same thing that I feel for when my fighters fuck up a little bit. Excuse my language. They are human, you know, and me being a fighter, you know, before I get it. We make mistakes. Hopefully he bounces back, man. It's gonna be hard to know how much that can take a toll mentally. You know, dropping out of a fight last year, you're sick or whatever, and then now the weight, it's gonna be a tough way to bounce back.
Well, we saw him go through a great camp. You know, we saw the hunger and him realize that he is a natural fighter. And again, being undefeated, you know, I think he made the right decision to try to come back after the Keelan situation. And, yeah, I don't think he's done. Again, everyone kind of not mad, just disappointed that it didn't happen.
Sad.
But, yeah, you got to make the weight. And Ramos was the champion. You know, you have to qualify. You have to come under the weight. So, and that's a big part. You know, a lot of times when a 3-rounder, someone comes over, we still make it. Let's get this work in. But when the stakes are high, that could be career-altering. And both of these guys extremely dangerous. Someone can get knocked out, and we did see some knockouts last night. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes
and as
people
a coach,
forget.
As a coach, you don't want to take a fight, and then something like that happens, and then it's your fault for taking it.
Yeah.
And, you know, your fighters aren't going to blame you for it, but you blame yourself. And then you can't go to bed for a week because you're thinking about that. So I don't blame them for not taking it. Maybe down the line at a higher weight class, they can see. I mean, Allen's young. He's only getting bigger.
Yeah. But getting the call from the weigh-in, you know, it's a scramble. We've sold all the tickets. I got to talk to the promoter. We got to talk to the commissioner, Fields, and try to figure this thing out. And so it was a big punch to the gut. Although I'd been there before, it was one of those things where you just got to carry on. Me and Sal had to show up there anyways. We're expected to do commentary, and I think we got the job done.
As a fighter, what do you think is the best route afterwards? Like, if you missed the weight, what do you think is the best route for you to take as a fighter? Do you confront it? Do you put it out there and you say, I messed up? Or do you just, hey, they didn't take it, whatever?
I think you need to be transparent, you know. And if you can, maybe a quick turnaround, but that's just my opinion. I don't know how Ezra feels about it. But.
No, you have to be professional about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, it's not just the fighter. When we make a fight, it's a contract between the coaches, the promoter, the fighter. And even though it's amateur, there's still a lot of money involved. You know, there's not only the money, but there's time involved. So it's really important that everyone does their job. And a really important part in the fight game for the fighter is making weight.
You know, we've had that on Rising Stars before a few times, and where a fighter will miss weight and then the opponent won't take the match. Doesn't happen often. You know, in the 150 fights we've done, maybe 3. And one of the kids missed by like 4 pounds. And I told him, you know, they don't want to accept fights off. So he's asking me to refund him his tickets. At that point, it's like I think it was an all Eventbrite show. And it's like, dude, you don't even get to ask for a refund. It's your fault. If anything, you should be trying to figure out how you can help this kid get his refunds because he didn't do anything wrong. So it's hard. It puts the promoters in a very bad position. I think these guys think we go into these shows and we're just made out of money, so they're demanding refunds. But it doesn't work that way. You know, even on ours, I send out the list, and I tell the fighters, if the fight is canceled because of you, not only do you not get a refund, he gets all of your ticket percentage.
Fair.
So the money, if you sold 100 tickets and you're getting, whatever, $500-600, he gets it, and you get nothing back.
Penalty.
Penalty.
Sure.
You know, I don't want anything out of it, but you're not going to walk away scot-free. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And, you know, getting the big fights, it's a relationship. I mean, you have to have the fighter, but also you have the trust of the matchmaker promoter that, you know, it's going to happen. Building the fights, putting the face on the poster, doing the build-up, and then, yeah, it's got to come through. It's part of the business.
Yeah.
But, Coach.
That's
last,
one thing. I know we're gonna transition into the fight, so
Yeah,
I'll just knock on wood. Since we've made all these matchups, that's why there's 20 of them. People were asking me why so many fights. We haven't had a single dropout since making the matchups. Which we generally 18 is about the limit, but we book a few more in case there's dropouts. Not a single person has dropped out. Everybody's been communicating. Everybody says they're close or on weight. Man, I'm really excited for this card because of that, because how professional all these fighters are taking it.
So, Lino, last Rising Stars card for the year. How many cards were there this year?
There was 5 this year total, but we did a show last year, November 23rd. So in a calendar year, like from 365 days, this will be our 6th show in 365 days.
Outstanding work. And not only you, but the whole Rising Stars team, everyone behind the show. And
man, the fighters and the supporters, that's the part that trips me out, how juiced they are about going to each and every one of these shows. And, man, I'm telling you, I've said it before, there's going to come a time where we do a show a month. I don't know when that will be, but it's definitely, the demand is there.
Well, they're a huge part of it, right? The sellout crowds, the support from all the friends, family, parents, and then the pool of fighters. It's just supercharging what's already been here. I mean, we've had Muay Thai here for a few generations,
right.
But recently it's just it stoked the flame.
And I love it seeing, like, Nico's show last week or this weekend, and then our show's next week. His show looks sold out. Our show will be sold out. There's no competition. Like, I want everybody to do well. It's not about them having more or less people than us. It's about giving these fighters opportunities. And I think as promoters, if we think this way, we can really build the scene up. And, we'll get into that a little bit later, too. We're talking about the pro scene. But if we support each other, sky's the limit.
It's like an ecosystem.
It really is.
Yeah. Everything
But
feeds.
I think it's the restaurant thing. It's the food's been good. Every fight you come to, these people are having a great time consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 fights in a row, let's do it. Hell yeah. We're going to have another great evening, amazing fights, friends, have some beers, have some food. I mean, it's a great night out. Great night out with your buddies, or if you bring your date.
And, our Sacramento Kings aren't doing so hot this year, so come out to the Muay Thai shows.
Sad to hear, but yeah.
Save your money this year.
But, Coach, this is another super show, and your last couple of shows have just been ridiculously good as far as the amount of title fights, the amount of internationally ranked Nakmui that are fighting each other. And then this card, it looks like you did it again with the insane card. Is this like the new standard for Rising Stars?
I don't know.
Half the show is titles and
I
international.
don't want it to be. It's because it gets expensive doing that for everybody. But and then getting some of these guys' travel taken care of. It costs a lot of money. But I don't know. It's hard not to. I actually, I was talking to a few people this week about that. Why so many titles? I don't know. It's hard not to. When the talent's there, I don't want to see it for 3 rounds. Remember, we seen the David and Samuel fight last time. I want to see that 5 rounds. That's a personal one for me. And the way you get these fights to be 5 rounds, you put a belt on the line. And these kids deserve it.
Now, when I look at the lineups, nothing's forced. It's just like all these fighters, you're keeping them busy. There's title holders, there's contenders waiting for their shot. So legitimately, the card can be stacked like this just to keep the league moving,
right?
The circuit moving, everyone getting fed, and the matchups are there. The fighters are ready to face each other for the belts, and it's really working. You see it working. The rematches, the familiarity with the athletes, and I was talking about it. We've been putting so much work here in NorCal within the Muay Thai community that you see it here in Sacramento, where people know the fighters in Muay Thai better than the professional boxers here in Sacramento. And a lot of the MMA guys. Mm-hmm. And it goes further than that. It's not just the fighters. The Muay Thai community knows the gyms that the fighters are from. So, I mean, you just think about boxing and think about your favorite boxer. What gym do they train at? And here, the crowd knows that.
Right.
And not only they know the gym, they know the coaches. Even the coaches are well known. And again, look at MMA. Name your top 4 favorite MMA coaches. It's hard to name them. And again, we've built a Muay Thai culture, the familiarity, where people know it. And it's awesome.
I wrote that down when I first started promoting. Things I can do to make the scene better. It was 2 of them, and there's a lot. I won't give away all my secrets, but guys have to be okay to fight with pads. That means you might fight a guy that has either a losing record or less fights than you. You go down a level, but if you want to stay busy, be okay to fight with pads. And then 2, be okay with rematches. I wrote that down for myself because at some point the pool is going to get small in your level. You got to fight that guy again. And it's good. It's not a bad thing.
It's great. And you have those characters within the circuit, just like in Thailand. And even watching the golden era, there's those certain prominent names, and you get to see them fight each other maybe a few times, and they go around the circuit. It's a great way to do it. Easy to be a fan that way.
I think so. And I'm a fan, too. Like, I genuinely, I don't just promote because it makes money or whatever. I have a gym. That's my breadwinner, but I'm a fan of these guys. It's a way that I can stay in tune with the whole Muay Thai scene and then just watch these guys fight,
Even pulling up to the show, I mean, you see the lineup, and you're like, oh, that matchup's hot because you know both of those fighters.
Yep.
You've seen them in the past. Also, our fighters are getting a lot of fights now, and that was a problem. Like pre-COVID, it was rare if our amateur had over 10 fights. Now you're seeing the teenagers like what we saw last night, and these kids having 15, 16, 17 amateur fights, and kind of like how it was in the 90s with the Strike Force professional era, and guys had, my brother had 34 professional fights. So that's exciting to see, is if you're a motivated amateur at a proper gym that's in the circuit, you can fight 5-6 times a year.
Yeah, easy.
Skill level's going to go up, and easy to keep our athletes in the gym and motivated when you have those opportunities. And there's been a lot said about, America being behind and there's not a lot of opportunities. I think the game's changed.
Who's saying that, though?
Yeah.
It's the guys that aren't in tune with America. It's the guys that aren't here. It pisses me off, Coach, when I hear these figureheads talk about how behind Muay Thai in America is, but nobody's helping. Don't tell me what I'm doing wrong. Don't tell me a way, that I'm not doing something right. Come do it. Come do it or tell us how to do it. Don't talk about our fighters. Some of these guys have never trained a fighter from the ground up. They've never built a kid, turned him into a champion or even into a competent fighter. And they're telling us that American Muay Thai is behind. It pisses me off.
And they need to take another look. And it's just going to be a matter of time till the recognition comes. Time tells.
I mean, you see it right here just in Northern California, just the fire that we've built, and seeing other promotions pop up and they're doing well too. It's a testament of what we're doing. It hasn't reached the whole country yet, but, our goal is to keep pushing this, and we'll get it there.
We're seeing the influence. We're seeing the influence in Thailand where they're doing fight nights. They're doing Fairtex padded fight nights, smoker fights. And even my family gym, Sitmanchai, they're doing Sitmanchai fight night. They're matching their own fighters. They're doing their own show. And again, kind of full circle with that, right? Thailand changing and accommodating everyone that's coming there. Not a bad idea. And you see the media evolving and kind of coming full circle a lot of the stuff that we're doing here.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's going the right way. So I don't listen to these dorks.
Let's go, Coach. Well, should we get into the lineup?
I mean,
Can I interject for a second?
20.
20.
We had the Night of Champions. We had the youth show. For this upcoming Rising Stars, is there a theme to the night, or we're just?
I mean, nah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. No, it's the end of the year party. Like
fun.
I think last year, the last fight we had for the year was a banger. It was our best-selling show, the biggest show we had, and I think this is gonna rival that. I don't think it needs a theme. I think it is a theme. I think ending the year with a bang. That's the theme.
Cool.
Coach, I made one. A theme.
Mm.
It's Muay Thai Paradise.
That's right. You did say that. Well,
And I was listening to the old David Lee Roth song, you know. It's like living in paradise. And he's never going home. You know, and that's just how I feel. You were in Muay Thai paradise. I mean, if you're a Muay Thai lover, what's happening now, even this kind of stuff, like this wasn't going on.
Right.
This is amazing to see.
Well,
and
I
then
mean, we got the tropical pink and teal shorts, so we're right there, you know.
it's paradise. And it's going to be war, actually. It's going to be chaos. But for us, Muay Thai lovers, I mean,
Paradise.
you want to stay there. You never want to go home.
You know, I tell the fighters in the back room, it's like, I even tell the coaches, I tell the officials, don't talk to me during the show. And it's not because I don't want to, you know, up until then, it's like, anything you need, hit me up. At the show, don't talk to me. I want to watch. I want to be there for 6.5 hours and watch every fight. So for me, it's paradise. So we'll run with that. It's Muay Thai paradise. Let me rattle off some of these fights here. I do want to give everybody their love. I'll quickly go through the prelims, the post-lims, and then we'll go into the title matches. We'll kind of chat about those a little bit. Bout 1, we have Julio Bautista, main event Muay Thai. He's fighting Luis Valdez out of 805 Kickboxing. Want to highlight that one.
Rematch, right?
No, not a rematch.
No?
Julio's he's our guy. He's debuting against Luis Valdez. He has 4 fights. Julio's a dog, but he's also NorCal Muay Thai merch manager. So shout out to Julio. You probably bought a shirt, some shorts off of him. Now he's fighting, so support him by watching his fight.
Cool.
That's what I thought. I knew that was him. And, yeah, you always see him at the NorCal counter
Yep.
selling the merch.
Yeah, Wig, he commented on there when I first posted. He's like, that dude showed me his shirt. It's like, that's the guy. So shout out to Julio. He's fighting now. So our staff fights too, you know.
It's hard to miss him. You know, he's got all the diamonds. He's got
Yep.
the diamonds on the neck.
Yep.
He'll sell you 3 shirts.
We'll see if he fights with the diamonds on.
Let's go.
He's got a tough opponent, though, so it'll be a good fight, and that's going to start the card off for us. It's going to be a banger. Bout 2, Ryan Asuncion from Endgame Training Center in Vacaville. He's fighting Matteo Rossi. Really like both of these kids. It's classified as a teens match because one's 17, one's 18. They can't fight with the elbows, but that's going to be a banger fight. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Teo.
The Brote.
Yeah, he's really good. And Ryan, too, at the end game, they're leveling up, man. They got a lot of good fighters over there, and I'm excited for that fight.
Yeah, Rossi,
KO Kitchen.
boxing background. Does some cross-training in boxing and a real passionate young boxer. Really loves the game. Going to be excited to see him in there.
Shout
on
out to
Rising
KO
Stars.
Kitchen. He does the baked goods and stuff. He'll have a vendor booth.
Who does?
Teo.
Tay.
Rossi.
He does?
Yeah.
Baked goods?
Cinnamon rolls and all that.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Now, you know,
Yeah.
I saw he went up to Washington and fought on the card that Berto has the belt with Viduya.
Yep.
They went up, did the Oregon Trail there, and yeah, it's awesome to see him getting a chance here in the hometown.
Yeah, he's excited. So, I mean, like I said, I've seen Ryan fight before, too. He fought on one of the all-out shows where some of our boys fought on, and he's really impressive as well. That fight's going to be fireworks. We'll go on to Bout 3, Aiden Shuker, main event Muay Thai. Prabir Singh from CMA San Francisco, Dave Engel's team. Aiden's from our team. Really dynamic kid. He's really not that experienced, but we like what we see out of him. I think he has 3 or 4 PMTs. He hasn't lost one. He's been convincingly winning all of them. And we've seen Prabir fight before. Really technical, good left kicker. The CMA team, you know, they build killers. That's going to be a really good technical match to watch. Bout 4, this kid just fought yesterday. I didn't know he was fighting. Logan Oliveira. He's over from the Wild Boys, and they're Wild Boys for sure. And he's fighting Anwar Fonseca from Mace Striking Arch. That's a great fight. Both these guys have great hands. They're going to meet in the middle. They're going to come forward. I don't want to put it out there, but this is going to be one of those split decision type of fights where it can go to anybody. That's the kind of fight this is going to be.
Sal, you remember Logan
Yeah.
from last night?
Wild Boys MMA.
Slick
Sup-
puncher.
Yeah, getting out of the way
Yep.
just by a little bit and shooting that right hand. Good kid.
Logan Oliveira, he looked a lot more experienced than his record showed. very composed, moved forward, classic Muay Thai style. And, yeah, I was surprised to see him on the roster, too. And then last night, 2 back-to-back. What happens if you get cut or stopped?
Well, that's why I wanted to go to the fights and just kind of make sure these guys didn't get hurt,
But
or at least let their opponents know right away. But, no, he looked great.
I tell you what, Wild Boys yesterday, too, had an extremely strong showing, which, again, we'll move on to it. But his teammate fought last night,
Justice.
who's also on your card, Burton.
Yeah. Yeah. About
They
5.
are wild.
They are wild.
Wild boys.
That's wild.
Yeah, shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Coach Jerem and Will. Those are my guys. About 5, Devin Flores, a.k.a. Dr. Noguchi, main event Muay Thai. He's fighting Xavier Delente from Team Doom Damaya out in Antioch, Concord area. Good fight, 2 debuters. Devin, actually, he's fought before. He's the guy that's recording everybody.
Yeah, I
he's
was gonna
Dr.
ask.
Noguchi. So shout out to Devin, man. Like I said, our staff fights too. If you guys go out there and watch Devin's fight, record him because obviously he can't record himself. But he's a great fighter. We're gonna definitely see fireworks in this one. I know what those Ricky Melendez trained fighters do from Team Doom Damaya, and we're gonna expect them to barn burner all 3 rounds.
So 3 main event fighters on this card, Coach?
Yeah, 3. We got 3. And then about 6, Justin Zhu, Wild Boys, fighting Rathane Kompetampon. He's over at Sacramento Nakmoy, trains with his uncle Ampon. That's going to be a great fight. Rath is very technical. Justin, he fought one of our boys on the RSMT13, and he's energetic, and he's looking to come forward. That's a great fight. Again, about 6. Hard to pronounce Rat's name, but you won't forget it. It'll be a good fight.
He's a character.
You see his socials?
Yeah, and he came in here once. He was kind of gypsying around, and Berto knows him from back in the old days, so he came in and got a little bit of work in. But good guy, very strong physique, and has that fire, wants to get it.
About 7, the big boys, 235 pounds. You got Troy Kirby, your guys' boy, and he's fighting Joaquin Marquez from Mace Striking Arts. I like both of these kids. We've fought against both of them. Troy is I won't say too much because they're watching. Troy's a great fighter. Joaquin, you guys probably seen him when he fought our boy Danny. That's a great fight. I'm really excited for this fight. Some of my own team, they're really excited to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, we appreciate the matchup, and this is Troy's debut. I've been working with Troy the last 2 years seriously, and he's a real student of the game. He's a hard worker. He's young, and he's really committed his young life to Muay Thai. He works here at the gym. Also, Troy has lost 100 pounds.
It looks great.
Yeah, and Muay Thai has been a big part of that journey. And, again, it's his debut. He's had some tough PMTs, and one of them was the fight against you guys at Uriah's place. But that never bothered him. Like, he probably has a 50-50 PMT record, but it's one of those guys that it just makes him more determined, more motivated. So I'm happy to see him get to this point and get the opportunity from you guys on this stage, and he is pumped. He's ready.
I've seen him in some of those fights. He's came up short, even in the fight he fought against us, and those fights arguably can go either way. They could have gone in his favor, and he's a great fighter. I'm a big fan of his kicking style, obviously training with you guys, But I'm excited for that fight for sure.
Also, them having the mutual opponent will make it interesting because they're all part of that young super heavyweight group. We have the older guys like Berto and the guys he's dealing with, but then what about the new generation?
Yep.
And that's what Troy is one of Berto's little training brothers.
Yeah, my boy Danny, the mutual, he's watching this one close.
Yeah.
He told me, Coach, if anything happens to either one of those guys, put me in. He's game, man. I've known Danny forever. So,
and
Danny's
that's going to happen.
You guys.
I hope all these guys, we have them for the next 5 years.
I think so. Especially if we keep promoting these guys. Yeah, for sure. Some of these guys will be our future champions.
They're so young.
Yep. Let's move on to the post-limbs before we get to the title fights. About 15, familiar face. We have Moses Rodriguez, Ironside Muay Thai. He's fighting Noah Montero from Valor. I believe it's the Valor Miracle Mile out in Stockton. They have 3 gyms, so it's hard to keep track for me. But we fought both of these guys before in PMTs, and we know Moses. Moses is a great fighter, fought for the belt before. And then Noah, you guys may not have seen Noah fight before. kind of earned his money on the MDL circuit. He's good. He's fought my guy Reggie 2 or 3 times, and every time it's a banger fight. So this fight is potential to be one of those that steals the show.
I always like to see those pools mix. You know, you have a few different pools within American Muay Thai, MDL, the PMT, and then certain teams favoring. And sometimes they don't fight, but other times they mix it up and they come together. It's always good to see a Valor fighter represented on the card.
They've got 3 on this one.
Oh, really?
They do. Clean, technical fighters. And
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, like I said, they have 3 different gyms, so
Yeah.
it's really Valor, but they may be from the 3 different gyms.
Well, we saw Ryan last night.
Yeah, he's really good. That was a good fight.
Yeah,
You know?
very good, very high level.
Ivan's awesome too, you know. But I was excited to go for that one, and I didn't realize that fight was early, so I wouldn't have made it in time. You know.
Yeah, they threw it right in. I think it was fight number 4.
Yeah. About that much.
Then we get to about 16. I won't mess your name up. Nathan Contoriotis.
There you go.
You know, Nathan Contoriotis. He's with the Giant Group and Coach Mark Dion. This kid's great. Solid fighter, strong, technical, and he's fighting Jose Alcaraz from Reed's gym. And anytime you get the Reeds in there, you know it's going to be a hell of a fight. I'm really excited for this fight here. 135 pounds. I really think we see, these guys get a few wins in a row, and you're going to see these guys knocking on that door, 135 pounds. Really exciting fight. About 17 of the teens fight, we got Joel Ramirez from Endgame Training Center. He's fighting Caden Estrada from Valor. And Caden, we fought against him before too. I'm pretty sure we fought against Joel maybe, but I know for sure we fought against Caden, one of my young kids, and slick, technical fighter. Joel for sure, he's a heavy hitter. This is going to be a great match. A couple of kids in the 137 pounds division, I believe. Good fight. And then about 18, Jared Williams. He fights Terrell Slaughter. We know Jared. He fights Jason Joseph's gym, Jay's Training Grounds. Terrell Slaughter. He fought Joe, I believe, last time from the Combat Fitness team. Banger fight.
The Combat Fitness team is revived, and the new coach, I don't know how long Coach Ernesto's been there, but he's doing a great job. And we saw him, I think he had 2 athletes yesterday. And, yeah, Slaughter, very athletic, left-legged, and did a good job against Joe. And this will be an interesting style matchup. Jared, forward, classic J style with the conditioning and the mindset. And then Terrell with that athletic left leg style.
Slick, good defensive fighter, good counter fighter. But like you said, Jared's coming forward. I'm really excited for this one as well. Bout 19, kid you guys watched yesterday, Justice Burton, Wild Boys. He's fighting Shannon Chavez from Valor Training Center. This is a great fight. 2 kids that favor the clinch. And Shannon as well, we faced him in the MDLs, and strong fighter. Just clean, technical, and like I said, both these guys are looking to clinch. We'll see who comes out on top.
Justice Burton with a really strong Muay Thai display yesterday against the hybrid, very athletic Roop, his opponent, and he really demonstrated a lot of Muay Thai science against a strong, bucking opponent. And we were shocked that he didn't have that many fights. I think it might have been his debut.
Yeah.
I believe he fought before.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he had a no contest.
That printout was weird.
Yeah.
He just looked very polished in there, very composed, and demonstrated how effective the clinch can be and using the stoic Muay Thai approach.
It's going to be a great fight. Like I said, I've seen both of these guys. We've competed against Shannon before. I'm excited myself to watch that fight. And then the final fight of the night will be Beijing Wright from Pacific Ring. He's fighting Desmond Prasad from 8 Limbs. And, again, Beijing, he's debuting. Desmond has his second fight. I've known Desmond for a long time. He used to train when he was a kid. He was probably like 12 when I met him. Stopped for a long time, and then he came back with the 8 Limbs group. And then one of my boys actually competed against Beijing in the MDL or PMTs. Strong, athletic kid, tall for the weight class. That's a really good fight to close out the show.
Not familiar with Beijing, but yeah, Dez from 8 Limbs, very slick.
let's get canceled here. What do you think? What nationality do you think Beijing is?
I mean, the one that's on the nose, Chinese, right?
Nah, he's black.
That's a black dude.
It's
Fair
funny,
enough.
shout out to my boy Dan
What's up,
Barrera.
Beijing?
That's easy to see.
That's good, dog.
That's my boy Dan Barrera, his coach. We were at the MDL checking in, and the officials are checking Beijing, and then they're looking at the coach. Dan's, Filipino. He's like, they're looking at him. He's like, nah, dude, he's Beijing.
He's the
I'm
brother right
coach.
there.
Great fighter though. I'm really excited for that fight. Title
Coach,
fights.
Are we going to move into the title fights?
First title fight of the night, bout 8. We have a 140-pound title, Anthony Magayan. He's defending his title against Daniel the Hitman Gonzalez. Now, we're familiar with both of these guys. Anthony is slick kicker. He really showed his style last fight against Gino. And I think Gino's never looked better. But Anthony just edged it out. And Daniel Gonzalez is back. I know he was fighting a little bit lower of a weight class. I think 140 is his preferred weight class. Big, strong kid, tall for the weight class. Puncher versus kicker, Coach. What do you think?
I think this is one of those matchups, and two athletes, like we were talking about, very familiar faces in the NorCal region. Magellan with that physical style coming up against Daniel Gonzalez, the Hitman, which looks like he comes from a boxing background. So this one's going to be fireworks. And I feel like the 140-pound, 142-pound division is one of the deepest, most exciting divisions in the country right now.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Like I said, kicker versus puncher. We'll see.
Yeah, and Hitman looking to get back in the win column, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was coming off a fight against Alan Ramos.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I think that might just be a little too low for him. I think he's naturally a bigger fighter, and he wanted this. So, Anthony gladly accepted. Both fighters, they only have one loss on their record.
And Daniel getting that 5-round experience. And that was a good fight. We got a chance to call that fight at Knock Muay Challenge, and it was a good 5-rounder, all in the great conditioning down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But, Daniel learned from that. And, again, that 5-round championships experience, he's going to be more ready for this stage this time around.
Bout 9, 126-pound rematch for the title. David Torres, he's fighting out of Rancho Cordova Martial Arts, fighting Samuel Maguire from 805 Kickboxing.
That was the rematch, huh?
That's the rematch.
Yeah.
They went to a split decision. A little bit of a puncher versus clincher type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The judges, they were split. The crowd was split.
Yeah.
Both fighters thought they had it. The commentary was thinking the other fighter had it maybe. I thought it was close. I was even telling them after, let's run it right back. After a little bit of, massaging some egos and figuring it out, we're running it back. 126 pounds for the belt. Originally, we had a couple guys that already had this belt. Kai Mack, he ended up vacating. Said he wasn't going to be fighting for a while. Ninja Reed ended up winning the title against Justin. Ninja's dad, James, said, probably not returning to 126 anytime soon. So the belt was open, and I felt like it was only fair. I wanted to see more. So 5 rounds.
You're the boss.
I guess.
No, I love it. And I remember this fight clearly, and it was a very controversial decision. Muay Thai scoring, we felt like Maguire won with the clinching and the scoring. There was no knockouts. I believe there was no standing 8 counts or 8 counts, period.
Right.
So, who's scoring the points down the line? So great rematch. Also, good to do it right away. And why not? Why not let them do 5 more rounds, and then we'll get a clearer picture of who's more dominant. And this is another weight class that I feel like is extra deep and so exciting. And we were talking about who the champ was last night at this weight, Sal, 127, 128. And here you go. You got these two, David Torres and Samuel Maguire, but this weight class is stacked. And it's not only the amateurs that have been around in the game, it's all the young guys that are coming out of the teenage ranks, and that's what we're getting to see a lot, not necessarily in this fight, but you're seeing the teenagers fighting the adults in doubling the pool.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And a good fight. Again, watch out for both of these guys. Samuel, the way he fights, the way he is, chip on his shoulder. He's coming in to prove a point. But don't forget, David Torres, this last fight, he was coming off of a leg break. So how much confidence does he have now? He held up. he's going to go for it now. So we got a fighter with the chip on his shoulder versus a guy that's riding on confidence. This is going to be a great fight.
Also, the rust is knocked off now.
Yep.
He got the 5 rounds. He got a taste. They got a tactical look at each other. And, now Torres, we're going to see a more improved, a sharper, more familiar Torres.
About 10, Jacob Baird fighting at Empower Lopburi in Sandy, Utah. He's fighting against Joseph Aduya from 8 Limbs. We put this fight on a little bit later on because these guys had matchups kind of fall through. This is an interstate title between California's champion versus Utah's champion. And it's an interesting one. We got Jacob, I've never seen him here in Cali myself personally, but I've seen his videos and stuff. Strong fighter. He has a wrestling background. He wants to come forward. That gym produces really good fighters. And we know Joseph. Yeah. Joseph was the former champion at 140 pounds. He chose to vacate, can't make the weight no more. He wants to test himself in the welterweight division. So, who better than to do it against a tough fighter coming from Utah, 7-2 record. This is going to be a crazy fight. Joseph is allergic to boring fights. And Jacob looks like he's ready for it. He's coming forward. Your guys' boy, Berto, he was out there at the Empower Gym recently.
Seminar.
Interesting you bring that up, Lino, because because I got a message. These guys are going to be in town this week, and they need a place to train. So Jacob and his team, I told him it's okay. Vadoya, 8 Limbs, I'm housing the enemy. Just kidding. It's part of the business. They need a place to cut weight and sharpen up, but we'll be interested to see what these guys from Utah, what level they're at and how they're going to do here in NorCal. Yeah. Joseph Aduya is no stranger, and I really feel like he's one of our top American Nakmoi at the moment. The skills, the conditioning, his age, but yet great experience. And I'm real interested to see, again, he went up with Rossi and fought in Washington and lost a controversial one. Fought with the MMA glove in the cage, and I heard they didn't like what they saw. I'm talking about the judges. But here he comes back to his home court and moving up a weight, and I'm sure we're going to see the same old championship Vaduya.
Great fight. Housing the enemy's crazy, though. No, it's part of the fight game, man. That's, shout out to you guys for doing that, and I'm sure they appreciate that as well. About 11, some familiar faces. At least one of them. Ezra Velasquez, 112-pound junior championship title. He fights Leonidas Anaya. Ezra out of the Rooted Legacy camp. Leonidas out of Hard Knocks Muay Thai in Vegas. I'm familiar with both of these guys, not just Ezra. Leonidas is a killer. He's looking to come forward. They wanted this match. Ezra going up a weight class. I think he's better off at this weight class. 108, he looked a little drained. We tried to get the rematch with Ivan. It just didn't work out with their schedules. But this one might be even more exciting.
Was Leo on your youth card?
They've never been on the card. They've been trying to get on for a long time. He's actually teammates with Luke Angus, who fought Encho before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've got a killer stable of young fighters over there. And Coach Henzo's, he'd been trying to get these guys in the card. I proposed a match. They said yes immediately. This is going to be a great fight. I mean, I know I say that about every fight, but it's true.
Young Ezra Velasquez moving up and just pursuing his career. These guys are young. Naturally, they're going to get bigger, and he's got that lanky frame to grow. So moving up, good to see it. And fighting another pedigree stable, this is going to be a legit title fight. And again, not just feeding them anyone to keep them busy, but bringing a nationally ranked guy that can challenge them. And, that gym that Angus is out of, they know what they're doing. Coach is doing a great job with those guys down there.
An exciting fight. Just really looking forward to the teens, and great fight. About 12, David Salih, Jordan Suasillo.
Oh, yeah. This one's fun.
Banger fight.
Yeah.
Jordan going up a weight class and a half. giving up some weight. We actually agreed to this fight at 162 pounds, but it is for David's 165 pounds Rising Stars title. We know David. David is a freight train. He's coming
tractor.
forward. It's a tractor. Two lefties fighting here. And I'm really interested to see how David deals with Jordan's speed, but I'm interested to see what going up a weight class, how Jordan deals with David's pressure. It's an amazing fight, man. I can say that about all these fights, but this is another one that I'm glued to my seat.
Is this Jordan's first fight since the WBC stuff that he was doing?
Man, he's won 8 fights in a row, so he's won a couple of tournaments. He did the WBC, and then he came back and fought in the IKF West Coast of the World Classic.
Right.
And I think this is his first one after that. First fight with no shin guards. So we'll see, how will David deal with the speed, but then how will Jordan deal with that pressure?
Both of these fighters, prominent names in NorCal, and David Sally took a cage fight. He fought in A1 and actually was stopped recently. And isn't that just like Dave? Dave is just hungry.
Winning that fight, though.
Winning, yeah. Tough fight, though, those little gloves. And it looked like he fought a weight class up because of the MMA,
I
however
think he
that
went
works.
down.
Really?
I think he cut extra weight, and they
The
weigh
guy
in.
who was fighting was huge.
They weigh in the same day. So that.
Yeah. But good to see him back in Muay Thai, pursuing his Muay Thai career. And young international, Jordan. And like you said, the speed. Getting to watch him working in the gym and in his fights. Very athletic, great mobility, and extremely fast and long boxing techniques. Extremely dangerous. So Sally in his camp, I'm sure they're going to be hunting leg. That's one of Dave's go-to things, is that punishing inside leg kick. And yeah, it's going to be a tactical war in there. And Lino, this is a super fight.
It really is, and that weight class, I don't want to say it's thin, but it can be. I have my own guy, Chris Salto. He's watching this fight close. He wants to go now. As a coach, I want to kind of hold him back and get him a fight or two with no shin guards. But Chris wants in, man. He really wants to fight the best of the best. And I know Chris is watching. Wait your turn, Chris, but it's coming. But this is a great fight. 165 pounds, super fight.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to wait a little bit, right, Coach?
I think so.
Give him another year, give him a few more fights, and then Salto, when he enters that pool, that's just going to spice it up.
I can get that
incredible
kid to
matchups.
155 pounds if I needed to, and he's super talented. He's watching this fight close, like I said. No ill will. We love both these guys, but, at some point, Chris does want to compete against the best.
So is Sally the defending champion?
He is.
That's right.
Because he went down.
To fight Sai.
Yep.
Yes. Very good.
And again, that pool is just kind of light there at 165, so they're back. About 13. They're fighting for the IKF West Coast Bantamweight title, as well as the 118 pounds Rising Stars title. Encho Timotel, Sit Regan Muay Thai, and Nicholas Vang from Buhawi, Coach Jasper Tayaba. That's a great fight, man. Talk about it, Coach. You guys are half of that fight.
We knew this fight was going to happen for a long time. We've seen Vang, the young, undefeated fighter, and that gym, a very traditional gym, almost like family. You can tell he's been with this coach since he's a little kid, and it's the same situation with me and Encho. So it really makes an exciting, pure type of look at a Muay Thai fight. And Encho, the two-time defending champion, but Vang is a Knock Muay Challenge champion and the California belt holder. So these are two of the legit top 5 guys in the country, we feel. And well-deserved as the co-main event on this one. And that 118-pound weight class, unbelievably fast, tactics, but also power. One thing we know about Vang, and we know he's getting older, things always evolve, things change. You kind of figure out, what works for you in the ring. but we know his instinct and his background is kicking and staying on the outside. Incho sees that. You know, we know there's going to be collisions, but we're going to be looking for Incho to show his physicality in there. There's quite an age gap. You know, Incho at 32 years old, and then Vang, the young Vang. This makes for again another, shall I say, dream fight for the 118-pound title. And yeah, I'm really proud of Incho. I'm really proud of what he's done in the last few years. You know, he's overcome a lot out of the ring in his life to be a part of what's happening in American Muay Thai. And you can see his performances. His last performances, he showed up as the champion, and he was ready to defend the red belt. And that's what we're going to see again.
A local favorite. A lot of my team, they enjoy watching Incho a lot, you know, and we'll see if that's enough of a crowd noise, though, because Nicholas Vang is bringing the whole Hmong community. I've known, I don't want to say I'm close to them. We actually competed against Nicholas a long time ago, 2018. He was a kid, you know, and he's not a kid anymore. You know, he's kind of growing up, and he's filling in that body a little bit. Undefeated. Man, this is a great fight. Like you said, a super fight. You know, it's one that I've wanted to make. And Coach Jasper, he didn't know who had the belt at 118, but he's like, we want it. We want that title, whoever has it. And we made it happen. You guys, you know, gracefully accepted, and let's make it happen, man.
We were going to challenge them. We were going to go, you know, whether it happened on your show or Knock Muay Challenge, we're looking to challenge him. Also, they have mutual opponents. Incho got a chance at the U.S. Open in 2024 to fight Angus and Moon. And then, obviously, him and Carlo fought on your show. And Vang did very well against Angus. Showed he was physically mature enough, and Angus is extremely strong for that weight. And so we're not underestimating Vang. We know he's young, but we know he's a real champion and physically developed. So, yeah, we're not taking it lightly at all. And it's going to be a banger.
And shout out to Coach Renzo from Hard Knocks. Angus is ready.
Right.
If anything happens,
yeah.
You know, Coach said, you know, he had a fight drop out around the same weekend that these guys are fighting. He's like, if anything happens, you guys call me. So
and it's different. You know, when they fought, it was in the tournament. It was 3 rounds that were in pads. You know, now it's a 5-round title fight, pads off. Things change a little bit, and we like that. We like that. We feel like athletes like this, 3 rounds isn't enough. Maybe we need super amateurs so we can get 3-minute rounds. Keep the elbow pads on them. Super title, 5 threes. Why not? How come we can't do that?
I think it's in the rule book. You can't go 3 minutes. I would. Great co-main event, and then we get to our main event here. We got national title again. How many national champions do we have now on Rising Stars? National champion in the super welterweight division, 150-pound Rising Stars title. Juan Andrade, Chayo Muay Thai, rematching from a different fight, a kickboxing fight. Wasn't a Muay Thai fight the first time. He's rematching Kevin Cummings from Sitong Sai, Joshua Atkins gym here in town. Another super fight, another dream fight. Why did they fight kickboxing before? I don't know.
I remember that.
Let's do it the right way. Let's do it with the elbows, with the full arsenal. Great fight, man. You know, and Kevin was one half of the fight of the year last year, and he mentioned it before. He wants to make that happen again. Juan's had a great run this year. I don't see why they wouldn't. Just an all-around man. I couldn't make a better fight.
Yeah, Kevin handing Juan his first loss, I believe.
His only
on
loss.
that fight. Yeah,
His only loss. Yeah, but it's kickboxing though, right? So we're gonna see a full display of their talent here.
In a proper 5-round Muay Thai title fight, and the stage is set. And these are 2 of the superstars of the generation. These guys are in their prime. They've both made their pilgrimage to Thailand and then fought in Thailand, and here they return. They return back to the home theater and facing each other in the main event. And, yeah, the stakes are high. Now, Kevin Cummings, tall, extremely dangerous, can fight from both stances, uses all different tools. Juan Andrade, in his last couple of fights, he looks more explosive and better than ever. And it makes sense. Again, these guys aren't old. These guys are getting to where they have 30 fights, and you're seeing that. The efficiency, the timing, the tactics, and again the corners behind both of these guys. Who's going to be in the corner calling the shots? You got Chayo, Cheetah, and Master Reed with Juan Andrade, and then Kevin Cummings. You have Josh Sittongsai. So this is going to be a great one, and we're going to see, can the explosive right-handed style of Juan Andrade catch Kevin Cummings, or will the taller Cummings with those long limbs and various tactics be able to do the damage?
You would go into it thinking Juan wants to clinch, right? But man, like you see a guy like Kevin, it's like he has 4 arms.
Yeah.
Because he can elbow you from anywhere, and even in the clinch, he's dangerous. But we've seen on the outside how dangerous Juan is. That super welterweight division, 150 to 155 pounds, is deep, But these guys are kind of, look, man, there was nobody else to fight but each other. I don't know if even America there's enough guys that have the experience that Kevin has. He's one of those guys that we talk about probably should be pro by now. But what's the point? What's the point? There's really no reason to go pro. You lose money, no one's going to want to fight you. So he's fighting another guy that's just, aside from him, in Muay Thai, Juan's undefeated. It's a super fight, man. I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't have thought of a better fight. I'm super excited we got it here on the card. And the crowd is in for a treat.
And this is pro. They've both fought in Thailand, and whether you get a check or not, those are professional level fights. Now, this is an amateur. There's no purse involved, but the level of the athlete, and this is it. These guys are A-class amateurs, and they're the elite in their weight class in the country.
But you say that there's no purse involved. These guys will probably walk out with more money than a debut pro fighter. Not to just switch over, but let's switch over. I asked that question on my Instagram, what's a debut pro fighter worth? And it really baffled me how many fighters I would think they wanted more. They wanted less. They were saying, I'll do it for $300, $400. Well, the legal limit or minimum in California is $600, $200 per round now. So you're going to get more than $300. But your medicals are over $1,000.
Sheesh.
So a lot of these fighters didn't know that the medicals were different. They were like, no, I'm current on the IKF. Those medicals don't carry over. You got your MRI, you got your ophthalmology exam, you have your blood work, you have your EKG baseline, your full physical, not a $50 physical, it's a $200 physical. It's about $1,000. I know there's places that do it all in one place for a little less, but you're not making money as a pro. So some of these guys as amateurs are walking away with more ticket money than the pros are.
And that's the situation here. That's the reality of it. Unless you're going to fight on an Indian reservation and it's completely off the books, which you're going to have issues with coming back in and working with a sanctioning body, you're going to have to divulge that information. But why isn't there a movement with all of our A-class amateurs to turn pro? And that's the reason. The purses, there's some opportunities, but how many times per year are you going to get that $600? And that's always been an issue. Also, are you in Muay Thai for the money? And if you are, man, how much money can you actually make? And a lot of people are disappointed. They'll do a really good regionally, and then they'll head over to Thailand, and they figure out what they're going to make in the stadium at the top of the sport. And unless you're a Superlek fighting in 1FC, the purse is small. So, no, you're not doing it for the money, although you have expenses. So you're doing it for the love of the sport and the glory and the passion, and that's part of getting good matchups. And the good matchups, that's another problem that's plaguing the pros is the pool. You see the matchups that we're getting card after card in the amateurs, and that's because of the pool. In the pros, they're having to use a lot of hybrid-style athletes that maybe have their medicals because they're MMA athletes, so they're available. But then they're having to create the matchups that's not necessarily going to be a glorious Muay Thai fight.
But that's something I don't want to do. I don't. My whole the idea with this is you build a debut fighter as amateur, you get him into the championship ranks, win or lose, and then eventually they go on to be pro. But they've completed the full circuit in our promotion. They didn't go from MMA fighter to our pro show. I don't like that.
Also, what are we showing the public? What are we showing the public in this stage of American Muay Thai? We want to present Muay Thai to the American public and show them what it is, not just a confused version. And again, we're still trying to grow the sport. We're trying to gain an audience, even people that aren't practitioners. And it's important to have a distinction between Muay Thai and just throwing punches and kicks.
I think that's kind of something that separated our promotion is we've really leaned into the pure Muay Thai of it. We've never shied away from trying to promote Muay Thai. And at first, maybe it was a little tricky, but after a while, all the spectators, they know what to expect. They know what to expect, the music, they know the shorts, it's Muay Thai. And how can you grow something and sell something, but you changed it? You're no longer presenting what you said you were presenting.
Also, why do you feel like you have to change it? Why do you have to feel like it's the sport that we love, and presenting it in the right way, other people can learn and see and hopefully get to love it as well.
It goes back to what you said. It's like doing it for love. You hear promoters telling fighters, do it for the love. But that hits different when they're trying to make a profit. Why don't you do it for the love? Why don't you pay me more and you take a loss, right? But I've had people approach me and ask me if we can do a bigger event, but we'll do a hybrid show. Half Muay Thai, half MMA. I don't care for that. Like, it takes me away from what I want to build. I'm not a big fan of the hybrid shows. If my fighters get to fight on one, great, but I don't think that's promoting our sport. You got to...
And why? Don't they see you're selling out every show? And it just proves the look at what's happening. And it's traditional Muay Thai. It's the traditional Muay Thai. People are coming back-to-back weekend, and you offering it in the right way, it just shows. It just shows.
And, speaking of
we
that,
don't got to change it.
Speaking of that, we sold out of all the first and second row reserve seating. It's over 150 seats. They're already gone, accounted for. A lot of the fighters are hitting me up asking me for more physical tickets. I don't have any more. Like, whatever they turn in, if they end up turning in all their tickets in at the weigh-ins and we've sold too many, I'm going to cut off the door sales. So really, guys need to get their tickets beforehand. This show's going to be packed, man. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing the crowd there and just showing that off. Like, we can do it on back-to-back weekends. And on top of that, we're showing pure Muay Thai. It's alive.
The proof is there. And again, it's not just a fluke that there was one popular guy, one hometown draw. It's every show, and it's awesome to be a part of. And looking forward to the show, Coach.
Me too.
Yeah.
As a fan, as a promoter, everything. I do want to give a couple shout-outs, though, or else I get in trouble here if I can. Shout-out to my daughters, Evie, Ella, Elena. Huge fans of the show, Coach. Every time it drops, they're watching the show, and they're like, Dad, are you guys famous again? Because we're on the TV. So shout out to my daughters. They love tuning in. Even if I'm not on, they love watching you guys, too. So shout out to them.
Coach, you are famous.
Yeah.
Coach, yeah, he's still working on building it. But, yeah, you need to use the chat GBT and do your name, and it's going to come up. Championship coach, promoter.
What is famous? What is?
You're well known.
Well known by the right people eventually,
Sal, any shout-outs for you?
Shout-outs from me. Everyone doing Muay Thai. Oh, actually, shout-out to Pure 4x4. Those are my people. Love them. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Shouts out to you, Coach.
And I want to shout out my wife for letting me come down here on Sunday night and doing this. She, let me out of the house. Just kidding. Love you, honey. And but, yeah, my daughter as well. My daughter was at the fights last night, and it's great to see her. Her birthday's coming up just in a couple days here. So, Emma, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Ann.
birthday.
Yeah. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We hope to see you at the show. If you can't make it and you're watching from around the country or around the world, make sure you get the pay-per-view. Tune in at akaizosports.live.
Professional stream, great commentary. Fights are always excellent. Man, watch the show.
See you guys there.